Hello, 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 what is going on all you fellow Bill Cosby enthusiasts? Welcome back to another shitty video of mine. Today we are going to be looking at the hardest high rounds in Call of Duty Zombies. Specifically the maps, of course, is what I'm talking about. So maps like Call of the Dead or Shangri-La or something are definitely going to be on this list, spoiler alert. But these are just my personal preferences and takes. So for example, maybe a map like, I don't know, Transit is hard for you to get high rounds on. Personally, for me, it's actually pretty easy because there's a lot of space to work on with that map. And if you can use the jet gun effectively, it could actually get you to around 100. Of course, it will take a very long time, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's hard. So this list is going to take into account my preference and just my overall subjective opinion of the map, but it's also going to take in my, I guess my experiences with the map as well. For example, I have almost gone to around 100 on all these maps, except for Verruckt and Call of the Dead. Those maps I have not done that. 5 have got to around 70, so I'm close enough, I guess. I mean, that's the best I'm gonna get. But a map like Shangri-La and Gorod, those maps I've also gone to around 100 too. Well, not Shangri-La, but we'll get into that later. But anyways, this is going to be my list for the hardest high rounds in Zombies. So let's get into this shitty video, shall we? Alright, coming in at our number 5 spot, I guess we're just gonna be doing a top 5, because why the hell not? Everyone does one, I might as well do one. It's gonna be Gorod Krovi. Now this is probably a controversial one, because, you know, Black Ops 3 is typically looked at as one of the easier games, at least with Gobblegum, but once you exclude Gobblegum from the, you know, situation here, Gorod is actually pretty challenging. You don't have Gobblegums to work with, so if you remove Gobblegums from this map, you have a map that feels like a World at War map, but more modernized, I suppose. And I like this map a lot. It's one of my favorites. But the high round on this map is pretty damn difficult. The high round strategy is very hard to pull off on this map. I've done it though. It's time consuming and it's just difficult. So yeah, that's not a good time when it's hard and it's time consuming. That's not an ideal high round strategy, but hey, it's the only one on this map, right? And also, you have the Valkyrie drones, which make everything 10 times worse and more infuriating and annoying. And they actually make zombies explode like Muslims, which is not a fun thing. That's actually one of my least favorite things in zombies is when, you know, an enemy type explodes and causes to give you splash damage. That's always annoying. And I find this map just genuinely difficult because there's not many spaces to train in. And the spaces that are available to train in, the dragon usually comes up and lights everything on fire. So if you are in the vicinity of the dragon, kiss your ass goodbye, because that dragon's gonna light you on fire. So, yeah, it's not very fun, is it? But Gorod is gonna come out in the number 5 spot here, and yeah, that's just why Gorod is just a good old map, but it's also pretty damn difficult getting to around 100 specifically on this map. Coming in at our number 4 spot is going to be Shangri-La. Now, Shangri-La, I hate this map with all my being. That's just me. Shangri-La is not a fun map for me, and when I got to around 100 on this map, I hated it. I actually didn't get to around 100. I actually got to 96, so I kind of lied to you in the intro there, but you know what? I think 96 is close enough. Am I ever going to retry this around 100? Probably not. Fuck that. But Shangri-La can be a fun map. But the problem with this map and just what makes it difficult is the fact that, well, you barely have any room to train. The high round strategy is difficult to pull off. It's also time consuming. The boss zombies on this map are infuriating. I hate them. I hate the napalm zombie and I hate the fucking shrieker. The monkeys are okay, but they're also annoying too. The monkeys are basically like, you know, black people. They basically steal your personal belongings and then they run away. By the way, I'm not actually racist. That was just a joke, alright? I know there's probably gonna be a guy in the comments that says I'm racist. Trust me, I'm not actually racist. I just like racist humor. But anyways, Shangri-La is going to come in at our number 4 spot. Coming in at our number 3 spot is going to be one of the best maps of all time, Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead is one of the DLCs for Black Ops 1, similar to Shangri-La. However, it has terrible wonder weapons, but it has a lot of training spots. Now, the only reason I put this above Shangri-La is because of the training spots. You actually have a good amount of space to work with on this map, so you're not constantly avoiding death or anything, and the boss zombie of this map, I honestly like him more than the Shangri-La boss zombies just because he rewards you better. So, George Romero actually rewards you with a Wonder Waff, which is an infinite damage wonder weapon, and you get it for a good amount of time before it disappears like a Black Dead. So that's basically the main strategy for this map. You don't have any traps similar to Shangri-La. So Call of the Dead, in my opinion, is easier than Shangri-La, just a little bit. I mean, not easier, harder, sorry. Call of the Dead is harder than Shangri-La in my opinion, just because of the terrible wonder weapons, but you do have more space, which is nice, but overall, I think it is harder than Shangri-La, but yeah, that's gonna be coming in at our number 3 spot here. Coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be Verruckt. Or Verruckt, or however the hell you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce this fucking map. It's something German or whatever, I don't care. Anyways, Verruckt is definitely one of the hardest maps in Call of Duty Zombies history, and it was featured in World at War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 3. Now, I would consider the Black Ops 1 version to be the hardest. So, Black Ops 1 Verruckt gives you the shitty Winter's Hell, which is not ideal, and you got the tight corridors similar to Shangri-La. So it basically combines what made Call of the Dead and Shangri-La hard, but makes them even harder. And you get Verruckt, so you got the tight corridor spaces, and then you've got the wonder weapons. However, the wonder weapon on this map is absolute donkey balls, so you might not want to use that for long. You do have traps on this map, which does make it possible to get to around 100, but it's going to be pretty time consuming, and it's just overall a harder map for me than Call of the Dead and Shangri-La. So yeah, it's going to be coming in at our number 2 spot. Coming in at the hardest zombies map for me, for the high rounds, is going to be 5. Now, it's funny how I consider this the hardest high round, yet I've gone to round 70 on this map. Now, 5 is a map in Black Ops 1, and it's actually one of my personal favorite maps ever, despite, you know, the controversial opinions around it. What's funny about this map is I've actually gone to round 70 on this map, and yet I still consider it harder than Verruckt and Call of the Dead. And you wanna know why that is? Well, the trap on this map is unusable, alright? It is in the tightest corridor that Treyarch could ever put a trap inside. The MPL hallway that features the only trap on this map is not ideal whatsoever. It is a terrible place to use a trap. I find myself literally never using a trap just because of how much I die in the hallway on the high rounds. I guess if you do use the crossbow or awful Lawton, this strategy is possible to pull off, and I've seen people pull this off, but for me, I can't do it, man. I just can't do it. I'm not the relaxing end over here. And 5 also features what makes Verruckt hard, which obviously is the tight spaces, but also the terrible wonder weapon. The wonder weapon on this map is awful. It's the Winter's Howl. It was the first map that the Winter's Howl was introduced, and unfortunately the Winter's Howl did come back in future maps, but yeah, the Winter's Howl just makes this map even harder than it already is. I will say the Pentagon Thief is a good help though, but overall, I think this is the hardest Call of Duty Zombies map in history. Oh, that's just my opinion. I know, you know, maybe some people consider a map like Shangri-La or Verruckt to be the hardest, but for me, it's gonna be 5. I can't get to around 100 on this map no matter how hard I try. Yeah, it's a hard map, and yeah, it comes in at my number 1 spot for the hardest Call of Duty Zombies high round maps. So, yeah, that's where 5 comes in. Moving on. Well, that was my shitty list of the hardest Call of Duty Zombie maps for high rounds specifically, of course. So, hey, if you did enjoy this video, you know, leave a like, maybe subscribe if you are into that, if you enjoy my amazing content. It's actually shitty content. Actually, I think it's mediocre. I don't think it's terrible, but, you know, I'm trying my best over here, I guess. Yeah, anyways, that's gonna be my list for the hardest high round zombie maps. Just let me know what you thought about this list if you are watching. And yeah, I'm gonna head out now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out. I'm gonna go grab Winter's Howl and head to my local elementary school. See ya.